Everyone. So this tutorial today is about how to warm up correctly for a game of golf. So let me just get this camera set up correctly. So I'm here in the very rustic teaching bay at Anstey Golf Club, and what I'm going to do today, you can probably see the weather out there is pretty rubbish. It's been lashing down with rain here all day. So on one of those days where it feels like you're going to go out there and you're playing in the really cold, miserable weather, we need to make sure that we warm up correctly, and really that's what today's all about. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to do some stretching. Now I like to do stretching with a club in hand, because it just helps loosen the muscles up a little bit more, I feel. So I'm no expert in warming up. I've always done the things that I've done, and I've never caused myself any injuries, any issues. So I'm happy for you guys, however you want to warm up and stretch prior to playing. But stretching is so important prior to playing, before we even hit a golf ball. Because the last thing that we want to do is pull or tear any muscles or anything along those lines. So we want to feel like we're stretching correctly, really feeling that you're engaging those muscles to get you going for the round of golf. Now, I don't know whether you can hear the rain here. It's horrendous. The rain's awful, absolutely awful. I might even have to get the light on. Hang on. Wrong light. Right, I've got the light on now. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I've got the light on. So, really feeling like stretch those muscles first. Let's get warmed up correctly before we even swing that golf club. Some real good stretches: legs, arms, back, chest, shoulders. Get ready for your warm-up, which then gets you ready for your game of golf. So now we've had a bit of a stretch, what I like to do is I'll grab a couple of clubs, hold them together. I think you can, hopefully you can still hear me over this rain. Grab a couple of clubs, hold them together, and then swing the two clubs together. I've always found this being a great way to warm up, because what you're doing is you're adding that extra little bit of weight. So when you get a single golf club in your hand, you feel like it's a lot more controllable and easier to swing. So, I don't know, I usually have 10 to 15 swings with these two clubs. I'm really getting a feel for arms straight, getting loads of width, and really engaging all those muscles. Okay, so generally, this being a full warm-up, what we'll do is we'll start at the very bottom end of the bag, and we'll get some balls in the tray here. Start at the bottom end of the bag, and then what we're looking to do is just clip a few away, and there's a red flag literally just in front of me here, and I'm just trying to hit that ball, I don't know, 30-40 yards carry, just to get that thing, just to get a feel for where the middle of that club face is, and just again feel like you're just loosening up a little bit. So this is my lob wedge, and I'm literally just half swinging, just nudging that. I don't know whether you can see where that ball's landing, but I'm just nudging that ball out there about 30-40 yards, something along those lines. Just getting a feel for it. What's important as well is looking for a target. So I don't know whether you can see that from there, but there's a few targets out here on the range. There's a 50-yard sign over there, so I'm going to come over to this side now and just try and pitch this about 50 now. Just scale it up a little bit more. Good line, probably about 55, but just getting a feel and a bit of a warm up for just getting your eye in a little bit, really. Yeah, it's feeling good. So once you've hit a few, and you feel like you're clipping them out the middle of the club face, is what I do is I start at my lob wedge, and then I skip every other club to the top of the bag, and then I work my way back down again. And this really helps, I feel, because obviously when we're out on a golf course, we're not just hitting 27 irons on the spin, we're hitting a variety of different random clubs here, there and everywhere, depending on how you're getting on, and obviously depending on what course you're playing and what holes you're playing. So I go straight from the lob wedge up to my well, it is actually my old pitching wedge, which has now sort of become more of a gap wedge. So I'm going to aim at that 100-yard sign out there, 100-yard sign there, and I'm just going to ping a few at that, try and pitch this about 100 yards just to get me going. Oh, it's going a bit further than 100 yards, that is. To be fair, this this club at sort of full tilt would go about 120, 125. Yeah, it's feeling nice though. And all you're still trying to do is you're still trying to ease your body into a bit of a routine, into hitting a few shots and hitting a few wedges to get you going. They're easy to connect with, aren't they? And they're easy to strike, and just starts to build that confidence. Tiger does it. I don't know whether you've ever seen Tiger warming up. I think he hits 10 with every single club. He sort of hits a few start with, then he hits 10 with every club, just to see what sort of shape he's got on that day, how he's feeling, whether he's feeling a bit tight, whether he's stretched properly. It all just helps. It helps give you a feeling of how you're then going to take that onto the golf course. So let's hit one more with this wedge. So let's try and get it over our target, 100 yards out there. Ooh, a bit chunky, that one. Online, that's a strike, so I'm going to hit one more. Let's try and hit one more on this. Feeling tall, relaxed. Yeah, okay. Nice, okay. So, I'll go from my gap wedge straight to my 9-iron. Okay, 9-iron. So, again, target out there. There's a yellow flag in the distance. Not sure whether you will be able to see that on there. It's just there. There. Let's see if I can get it out there. 9-iron. Oh yeah, that felt good. That's all over it. Yeah. So that's pitching up this hill now. The wind's behind a little bit. There is quite a bit of wind about, hence this rubbish weather that we're having today. But that's pitching about 150. Oh, that's a bit shorter there. That one, 130. Quite a little slappy, that one. Not the best of strikes, that one. But again, this is all about easing your way up to the longer clubs. That's a better strike. Some more solid. Yeah, more like 150 again. So yeah, what you're trying to do is you're trying to ease your way up to the top clubs, and then on your way back down, then you're feeling more an element of control than on your way back down. So ease up to your driver, hit a few with your driver, feel a bit of control on your way down. It's all over it. Yeah, feels good, that at the middle. Right, so we go from 9 to 7. So I'm just going to, for the sake of this, I'm just going to go straight at that same target. I know I'm going to go over it, but I'm just going to go over that, straight at that target. So this is more like a 170 club, my 7 iron now, with these new irons. Yeah, 165-ish. Again, you're still trying to get your feel for the middle of that club face and a bit of a rhythm. Bit blocky. A long way up there though. For a 7 iron, hell of a long way. Feels good. Some of these balls are quite hard, so they probably don't sound brilliant on them. They don't feel great off here, but they don't sound great on there. Yeah, that feels good. Real nice. Yeah, that's going a long way. Feels good. This is 7 iron, so we go from 7 up to 5. Get a few of this 5 iron. So now we're getting towards the top end of the bag, aren't we? 5 iron. Yeah, I mean this is like more like 190, 200 now, just for me. Yeah, that's pitching up. About 190. Well, it's a miserable day as well. The ball, it's not cold, it's just wet. Very wet. Typical British weather, this is. Yeah, that's going. So I was going to go and play 9 holes after this. But looking at this, I'm definitely giving that a miss. Right, one more with a 5 iron. See how it feels. Then we go to the 2 iron. Yeah, that felt good. Little cut, but beautiful. Beautiful strike. Hardly see the ball now in that rain. Okay, 2 iron. Now this thing varies, depending on how I'm hitting it. This thing can fly a long way. You know, you can probably look more like 230. So, what ball was that? I hit that well. I thought I'd rip that. Much lower flight. Strange strike, that one. Real strange strike. Really, really weird strike, that one. Come on. That's a bullet. It felt good. Top flight. Titanium. This will feel nice and soft off the face. Yep, lovely and soft. Oof, horrid little cut. One more, then we're going to the big dog. We can get the driver out. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, working up to that driver, getting a feel for it, warming your way up there. Now it's driver. Let's try and find a couple of decent golf balls to hit. See what sort of distance we can get this out there. Again, this varies. That tee's a little bit low for me, to be fair. It might be on the first green. I need a slightly higher tee. Grab a tee out of here. Get a higher tee. Bit of a better launch. We'll hit that up there, so half decent. Right. Let's see what we can do. Oh, Jesus. If I can get a tee actually in the mat. Whew. Okay, driver. Stop raining now. That's at a better height. Hands a bit wet. Let's go for it. Feeling a bit of width, and now you're really trying to loosen these muscles up and get these out there. Yeah. Gone. Nice. Oh, good. That's a better height. That's a better height. Here we go. Right. Let's give this a ride now. Swing that. Oh, yeah. That is gone. Nice. Feels good. Don't know where the tee's gone, so we will swiftly move to the 3-wood. Get a few off the deck. I have actually ordered a new 3-wood. There's a new 3-wood coming. I'll do a little unboxing on that. That's cracked. So yeah, 3-woods. I've ordered a new PXG 3-wood, which I'm quite looking forward to having a go with. Oof, high. Got right under that. See this rain? It's hideous here. Absolutely hideous. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at the chat because I haven't enabled anything yet. So, have we had any chat? Never any chat come through. Don't know whether we've had any messages come through. Live chat. Yeah, we've had nothing. So, God, this weather. I don't know whether you can see what's going on out there. It's pretty horrific out there, if you can see that. Just have a quick swig of coffee while this blows over. I'm going to blow over that quick. Right. A couple of 3-woods. See how they're feeling. Oh yeah. Probably the best strike of it so far. Not going to win another one. Feels good. So 3-wood down to 4-iron. This is a club that I use quite a lot. Again, one of my new Callaway irons. Again, now you're trying to dial in on your way back down. You've warmed up now, you've fully warmed up, so I'm going to pick a different target. I've got 150 sign out on that right hand side. I'm going to try and fist one over that. Oh, that feels great. That's a hell of a ball flight. Oof. That wind is hammering it a bit, but it's pitched up about 185, I think, into that rain. It's not bad. Let's have another one. Get one out there. Oh, that felt great. You hear the sound of that golf ball. So different to the last one. And the last one was a top flight, and then that was like a Strixon soft feel or something. Completely different. So the 4-iron feels good. Now we're going to drop down to the 6-iron. Again, we're trying to dial in now. We're dialing in as much as possible. Dialing in. Same target. Mix and match. Ah, yeah. And so, the purpose of this exercise is to explain to you guys that turning up on that first tee cold is just always the wrong thing to do. Now, I know, I understand sometimes it's difficult to get the time to be able to get there to the golf club early. But even if you just hit 10 or 15 balls, it's going to help you loosen up. It's going to help you feel a strike on that golf ball before you stand on that first tee and wonder, where am I going to hit it? Yeah. So it's just warming up, and like now, I mean, I've gone up the bag and now I'm down into sort of the dialing mode, which is the other side of the bag on my way down, and I feel so loose and so comfortable now. I haven't hit that many golf balls, but you know, I've probably hit 25, 30, but I just feel so much more loose and comfortable now. I just feel like I can strike everything so well, like just nailing everything out the middle now. So when you feel like that, you then take that confidence to the golf course. Yeah, and that's what you want. You want to be able to take that confidence that you built up on the range onto the golf course as much as you can, and feel that and take that out. So now to a couple of 8 irons. Oh yeah, just coming out in the middle of the bat now. Everything's coming out in the middle. Weather's horrific, but the ball is flying well, considering. I mean, if you can see this weather, it is brutal, brutal. But you know, I've worked up one side of the bag. Now I'm dialing it in, feeling nice and loose, feeling like that ball's coming out the middle of the club. It's slappy, to be fair. First one for a while. But it's all about building that confidence up on the driving range and then taking it onto that golf course. Yeah, out in the middle again. God, that wind is blowing. It's not in the middle of a storm. Right. Okay, so that's 8 iron. Skip down to my pitching wedge now. Hitting a few wedges. And when it comes down to wedges, I don't tend to hit from sort of like anything below a 9 iron. This is me personally. I don't tend to try and force anything down that lower end. So if I've got a yardage that I know I can possibly get this to, then fine. But it's full blast. I'd rather choke down on a 9 iron and hit it smooth. I feel like I've got more control over that ball. Because hitting the ball the correct distance is the biggest secret in golf. You hit the ball the correct distance, you're never far away from the hole. So I'm just going to knock a few of these down now. I just feel like I've got good strike out the middle of the club face. Yeah, that's probably going about 130 with my wedge in this hideous weather. It's horrendous weather. Little knockdowns. But yeah, you're feeling now, because you've, yeah, nice, all over it. So you feel like you've built up, you've stretched, you've warmed up, you've swung 2 clubs, you've started off clipping a few lob wedges, and you feel like you're finding the middle of that club face, and then you work up one side of your bag, up to your driver, hit a few drives, put in the power, and then on your way back down, then that's when you're trying to fine tune. That's when you're really trying to find the middle of that club face and hit those targets, because that's the feeling that you want to take with you from here onto that golf course. So those back end ones, so the 4 irons, the 6 irons, the 8 irons, and now the wedges have felt great out the middle of the club face on my way back down. Yeah, it's all over the flag. Boom. Yeah, nice. So then really, I go down to my sand wedge, and that's where I sort of finish off. And I finish off trying to pitch it at a target, give myself a couple of little targets. I've got one at 75 there. I'm just going to fizz a couple into that. Yeah, nice. So really, this warm up routine is it's one that a lot of the pros on tours use. They probably hit a few more balls, they'll have their sky track, or they'll have their trackman behind them, so that they can see exactly how far they're hitting each one. And obviously they're hitting off turf, I'm hitting off a mat in here. So that's really the only difference. You know, they probably want to know more specific numbers. I don't play a huge amount of competitive golf anymore, but you know, those guys are obviously playing competitive golf week in, week out, so they want to know numbers. They want to know exact yardages, so that when they get under that pressure situation, they can just pull out the swing that they want with the club that they want. And that's what it's all about. It's all about practice makes permanent, not perfect. So important that you remember that. So the more you practice, the more you do, you go through a routine, the more you will see improvements. And depending on what you're working on, you don't want to be practicing the wrong things. So I'd always recommend seeing a pro, even if it's just for, even if it was just for one lesson. Yeah, even if it was just for one lesson, go and see a pro. Go and get their opinion, their professional opinion, and get them to give you something to go and work on, because that's so important, so important, that you've got something that you can go and work on, and then try and feel like you're dialing in, and then you'll start to see improvements. Yeah, it feels good. Nice. So from there, if you're flat out playing, you would take this form and you're feeling great, and you take this from here and you go onto the chipping green, and you go onto the chipping green, you'd be hitting a few chips, a few bunker shots, and when you're feeling like, you know, you've dialed that in, then you take it from there and you go onto the putting green, you're hitting a few putts, you're working on certain drills, certain elements of your stroke, whatever it might be that you're working on, getting a feel for the speed of the greens, and then getting to that first tee. So we've been practicing now. This has been a bit of a slow warm-up, because obviously I've been talking to you guys as well as doing it, and we're at 27 minutes. So this will probably just show you that, you know, this can probably be done in 20 minutes quite comfortably. And this is just obviously the range session. You could probably go and do some chipping for 5 or 10 minutes, and then some putting for 5 or 10 minutes. So give yourself 3/4 of an hour before your tee time, to actually give yourself that time to practice. So I hope that's been useful to everyone today, and speak to you again soon.